If we have a polynomial that equals 0, can we find the solutions of x? The first thing to know is since we are dealing with x squared, we can have up to 2 answers. So how do we solve this? Let's begin by factoring. What factors of -4 have a sum of 3? 4 and -1. So this polynomial can be factored as x plus 4 times x minus 1. Since anything times 0 equals 0, if either x plus 4 or x minus 1 equals 0, the entire equation will be 0. Now, when does x plus 4 equal 0? Isolating x, we see that x plus 4 is 0 when x is -4. So -4 is an answer. Now, what about x minus 1? When does x minus 1 equal 0? When x is 1. So two solutions for x in this equation are -4 and 1. We can check our work by substituting these back into the original equation. -4 squared is 16, 3 times -4 is -12, 16 minus 12 is 4, and 4 minus 4 is 0, so -4 is correct. And what about 1? 1 squared is 1, plus 3 times 1 is 4, 4 minus 4 is 0. So both of these answers work. Now just for some terminology, if we have a quadratic that equals 0, the solutions for x are called the root or the 0. So our roots or zeros for this quadratic are -4 and 1. Alright, let's look at another example. Try to solve for x here. See if you can do this one on your own. Now remember, in the beginning I said we can have up to 2 answers because we have the x squared. While many times we do get 2 answers, sometimes we only get 1. But I'm already getting ahead of myself. Let's begin by factoring. Listing factors of 4, we see that only 2 and 2 add up to make 4, the coefficient of x. So we can factor this as x plus 2 times x plus 2. Now when does x plus 2 equal 0? When x is -2. Since we only have x plus 2, the only solution is -2. So the root of this quadratic, or the value of x in this quadratic, is -2. Alright, let's try another one. This one is a little bit different. We aren't told that this polynomial equals 0, so how can we find the values of x? If we subtract 4 from both sides, now we get x squared minus 3x minus 4 equals 0. Now, let's factor the trinomial. Some factors of -4 are -1 and 4, -2 and 2, and -4 and 1. Which of these has a sum of -3? -4 and 1. So we can factor this as x minus 4 times x plus 1. Now when will this equal 0? When either x minus 4 or x plus 1 equals 0. X minus 4 is 0 when x is 4. And x plus 1 is 0 when x is -1. So these are our roots. And going back to the original equation, we can check our answers. Substituting in -1, -1 squared minus 3 times -1 is 4. And 4 squared minus 3 times 4 is 4. So these are the right answers. Okay, now let's look at this one. When does this expression equal 0? See if you can figure this one out. If you got -3, -5, and 1, great job. If we substitute any of these back in, we get 0 in the numerator, and since anything multiplied by 0 is 0, this whole thing would be 0. Now did you also include 2? The reason why 2 is not a solution is because x minus 2 is in the denominator. Division by 0 is undefined, and does not equal 0. Thus in this example, when finding expressions that equal 0, only the numerator applies. Can you see how we are just building upon foundations we've already learned? You already know that anything times 0 is 0. And you know that nothing can be divided by 0. We are just applying this in algebra to help us solve variables. How cool is that? What's also cool is liking and subscribing. These videos take a bit of work, so your subscription and like is very appreciated. If you learned something or enjoyed this, don't forget to share it with a friend. Now, keep working hard and keep learning. Thank you for watching.